Christian Horner recently spilled the beans about the upcoming season, and let me tell you, he didn't hold back. He mentioned that Mercedes and Ferrari are stepping up their game, hinting at an intense and competitive season ahead. Moreover, Horner gave updates on Red Bull developing their own engine for the 2026 season when rules change. Horner also touched upon the pressure to mold Max Verstappen into more of a PR-friendly driver, toning down his criticism of Formula One. But without beating around the bush, let's take a look. As we enter the new 2024 year and prepare for the new season of F1, Christian Horner, the boss of the Red Bull team, has acknowledged that they are prepared for tough competition from Mercedes, Ferrari and Aston Martin in the upcoming season. Under Horner's guidance, Red Bull had an incredibly dominant year in Formula One last season. They clinched victory in 21 out of 22 races in 2023. The main contributor to their success was Max Verstappen, who triumphed in 19 of those races. Sergio Perez also secured wins in Jeddah and Baku, while Carlos Sainz stood out as the sole non-Red Bull driver to claim victory, achieving this feat at the Singapore Grand Prix. Given that there won't be significant changes in the regulations until 2026, many anticipate Red Bull continuing their dominance and securing another championship win. Horner acknowledged that Red Bull has almost reached their peak performance, suggesting that the team might not be able to make significant improvements due to consistent rules. He mentioned to Sky Sports that they might have reached the highest point of their development curve already, and there could be diminishing returns in their progress. He also expressed an expectation for other teams like Ferrari, Mercedes or Aston Martin to step up as contenders in the upcoming season, now that Red Bull might have less room for improvement. Looking at the previous season, Mercedes, Red Bull's closest competitors in second place, didn't even manage to achieve half of the points gathered by the championship-winning team. This indicates a substantial gap that rival teams will need to bridge in the following season. It might seem surprising to hear this news now and not ahead of the 2026 season, especially since that's when big changes are expected in the regulations. Some people speculate that Christian Horner might just be trying to influence the current season with mind games, or just attract some attention before the start of the new season. But for when the regulations change, Horner has openly acknowledged the challenge they're taking on by aiming to create their own engine for the 2026 Formula One season. He believes it's an ambitious move that might not show immediate results but will be beneficial in the long run. Although Red Bull's dominance might continue for the next couple of seasons, the focus of many in the F1 world is on 2026. This is because that's when new engine rules are expected to be introduced, potentially changing the landscape of the sport. After the 2025 season ends, Red Bull plans to construct and use their own engine, gearing up to compete directly against established industry giants. Christian Horner shared that despite acknowledging the daunting nature of this task, Red Bull feels well prepared to turn this challenge into a significant success. Horner mentioned to Sky Sports that in the rules, there's a mechanism for equalization, but it usually involves a delay of around 12 months. He explained that they've made investments in the UK, partnering with Ford to establish an engine facility on their campus. The team has built a factory and cutting-edge facilities with nearly 500 individuals focused on developing the 2026 engine. Horner emphasized that transitioning from having no engine to competing with top manufacturers like Mercedes, Ferrari, Honda, Renault and Audi is a bold move. However, Red Bull is optimistic about its potential payoff in the long run. Another interesting thing Horner mentioned is a desire to prevent Max Verstappen from turning into a robot, despite Formula One officials wanting the champion to be more supportive of the sport. Verstappen, currently the most dominant racer in Formula One, had an incredibly successful season, achieving a record-breaking 19 wins out of 22 races, with his Red Bull team leading the pack. His remarkable success meant Verstappen received a lot of attention. However, when interacting with the media, he often complained about various things. His outspokenness combined with his victories reached new heights. Verstappen notably criticized the F1 sprint format, openly expressing his dislike for it. One of his most talked about moments was during the Las Vegas Grand Prix, when he commented that the event was more about show than actual sport. He compared it to Monaco, stating that Monaco is like the Champions League, while the Las Vegas event was like the National League. Formula One officials really want Max Verstappen to speak more positively about the sport, but Horner doesn't want his star driver to change anything about himself. He explained to motorsport.com that Red Bull supports their drivers' freedom to express themselves and have their own opinions. Horner highlighted that Max, as the world champion, has a voice and they don't pressure him to give a PR-friendly perspective. He praised Max for being honest and straightforward, considering it quite refreshing. Horner also acknowledged that despite Verstappen's occasional controversial remarks, he believes the driver has matured since joining F1. However, he thinks there isn't much else that's different about Max. According to Horner, Max is evolving because he's growing up a bit, jokingly mentioning his increased facial hair. Yet the essence of who Max is remains unchanged. He emphasized that Max is dedicated to his job, driving the car exceptionally well. Verstappen doesn't particularly enjoy all the flashy aspects surrounding Formula One, which has been consistent throughout his career. Horner noted that Max is a professional who focuses on his racing. He described him as a genuine racer who remains grounded and deeply passionate about racing, whether it's on the track or online. Verstappen clinched his third consecutive championship in 2023 at the age of 26, with a contract until the end of 2028, and being part of a Red Bull team that seems to have an advantage for the next couple of seasons. He's expected to be the favorite for more victories, adding to his already impressive collection of trophies. Max has always been known for being straightforward, and as a champion now, he can speak even more openly. I agree with Horner that many teams push their drivers to act like PR machines for their brand's image. It's unfortunate because it hides their true personalities. The media plays a big role in this issue, often twisting Max's words out of context, forcing unnecessary apologies. I can see why other teams take a more controlled approach, but as a fan, I dislike it. When drivers express their honest thoughts, it's beneficial for the sport. It gives us, the fans, more to discuss and helps us understand their genuine feelings. This isn't a new phenomenon. Legendary champions like Stewart, Lauda, Senna and Hamilton have often shared controversial opinions that upset the FIA and F1's commercial side. The sport is more exciting when drivers show their emotions, and it's no surprise that Horner supports that. The most thrilling seasons usually involve drivers displaying their competitive spirit and feelings beyond just driving. For a brand like Red Bull, known for extreme sports and a rebellious attitude, having drivers who are like PR robots wouldn't fit their image. It's part of why Horner fits in so well at Red Bull. Achieving this on a large scale is tough, but it's impressive to see Red Bull, not just in F1 but overall, consistently maintaining this approach. When experienced individuals join from traditional organizations, they may bring old habits, affecting the company's culture and making it similar to others. Keeping that unique edge is very challenging. I appreciate seeing Red Bull F1 moving back to a more natural and genuine feel. Returning to the main point, I believe Red Bull won't face much competition this year either. In the previous season, they were far ahead of everyone else, allowing them ample time to concentrate on this year's car. Mercedes might attempt to make a comeback, especially with James Allison working on their car again. Ferrari, on the other hand, are unpredictable and a bit shaky to confidently rely on, but I foresee Mercedes securing a steady second position this year. Meanwhile, McLaren and Ferrari seem set to battle it out for the third spot in the standings. However, I hope my prediction is off and that Horner's concerns are genuine, leading to an unexpected twist in the upcoming season. History shows that such surprising seasons can happen. The most thrilling and competitive times often occur after rule changes, and everything remains uncertain until the season kicks off. I'm confident that many drivers have strong aspirations this year to leave their mark on the sport. For instance, Max Verstappen aims to break more records, while Hamilton is eyeing his 8th championship title. Russell is eager to make a lasting impression. Leclerc is striving to fulfill his potential. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.